Okay, members of the board, welcome viewing audience on YouTube. I'm sure there's not you, but welcome. We'll call the meeting to order. Are there any disclosures of conflict of interest for items on the agenda? Seeing none, adoption of the minutes of the meeting held May 17th, 2021. Moved by Mr. Comsa, seconded by Ms. Houston. All in favor? That carries. Thank you. Well, I'm happy to say we have presentation tonight for 3 of LaSalle's finest. And we'll start with ladies first. We will have Tanya, may you read the bios? And you okay, Tanya? I know your voice is bothering you, but is Kim with?
That's okay. Yep.
Kim's there? Okay.
So great. Kim is a married mother of 2 who started her career as a police officer over 20 years ago in the city of Windsor. She policed the city of Windsor for 15 years, where she worked in various roles, which includes patrol, court services, and the bicycle unit. In 2009, Kim was afforded the opportunity to become a member of the Provincial Anti-Violence Unit, where she worked in a joint forces capacity with LaSalle Police and the former Amherstburg Police. Kim found her passion in 2011 when she became a member of the High School Resource Unit. Building relationships and connections with local youth proved to be an incredibly fulfilling position for her. Realizing the importance and impact of adopting the community policing model was not only beneficial to her, but the school communities in which she cared for. This revelation led Kim to accept an employment opportunity with a smaller police service. In 2015, Kim began another chapter in her career with Amherstburg Police, hoping to continue to build relationships with a smaller community. In Amherstburg, Kim began the mental health and addiction officer position. While in this position, she led various initiatives such as employee wellness and peer support, all the while assisting those in need within the community. Her drive and desire to serve her community to the best of her capabilities led her to complete several courses through the University of Ohio and the University of Michigan. In 2019, Kim's career started yet another chapter, the final chapter, she promises, when she was offered a position with the LaSalle Police Service. It is where Kim found her most fulfilling role, building relationships within the community she resides in. In 2020, she accepted a position on the Executive Board of Directors with the House of Sophrosyne, assisting those suffering from addiction within her community. Despite all of her movement, Kim still seeks to educate herself to better serve her ever-evolving community. She is currently enrolled in a diversity and inclusion course at the University of Virginia. Kim could not be more proud to complete her 20th year as a police officer with the LaSalle Police Service and looking forward to what may come her way in the next 10 years. Lastly, Kim would like to thank the town of LaSalle for the opportunity to continue her policing career in the community in which she lives and has raised her children in.
Duncan, we'll let you take it from here.
Thank you, Mayor Bondi and members of the board. Just would like to make a couple comments with respect to Kim. We're glad to have her. She joined the LaSalle Police Service on January 2nd, 2019, and brings with her a wealth of experience both in Windsor and Amherstburg. Just looking back at her 2019 and 2020 evaluations, comments that were mentioned by our sergeant indicate that she's very highly valued. She instantly connects with people, cares about people, she motivates others, leads through example, and she puts the team first. Exactly the type of characteristics we need in the police officer here in LaSalle. And just 4 of the words that Kim has described herself on her evaluation is eager, happy, dedicated, and of course 3 words, willing to help. So again, we sincerely appreciate having Kim come work for the LaSalle Police Service and the experience that she brings, and we're happy to have her. So I'll present her with her 20-year medal.
Okay, thank you.
So congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And also your certificate. The certificate as well will be, you can hang on your wall.
I will.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Duncan, does she want to say a few words? Closer to the mic.
Okay. Okay, yeah. Well, first I'd like to thank, most importantly, my family. 20 years in policing isn't easy on everyone's support systems. And luckily for me, I had a very supportive family that has helped carry me throughout this entire time. And secondly, I'd like to thank the board, the town, and again, most importantly, is the employees within this building, because I was welcomed with open arms by each and every one of them. So this is home. This is what I feel like is home. Thank you.
Well, welcome home. It took you a while to get here, but you're here, and we're happy and proud that you're celebrating 20 years in LaSalle, Kim. Everybody I talked to from when I met you down, I think it was fireworks. I don't know if that was the first time, but we spoke a bit, and you're easy to get along with, comfortable. You would not know you're a police officer until you put the badge on, but you're a great addition to our force, and we're proud to have you. So thank you very much.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. And Constable Brad Thornton will be on his way in here momentarily.
Okay. Duncan, what is that behind you? Is that a safe?
I'm sorry?
What is that behind you where the lights?
Just a cabinet.
Oh, okay. Okay, Tanya, when you're ready.
So Brad is originally from Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario, but was raised in London, Ontario. He began his law enforcement career with the Ministry of Correctional Services in 1999, where he met his wife, Jeannie. In September 2000, Brad started his policing career with the Toronto Police Service. And at the same time, his wife, Jeannie, accepted a position with the Ministry of Transportation in Windsor, Ontario. On April 14th, 2001, Brad reunited with his wife after accepting a position with the LaSalle Police Service. Brad and Jeannie eventually moved to Amherstburg, where they have raised their two children, Carly, 18, and Connor, 16. Brad has been a part of several specialty units with the LaSalle Police Service. However, he mostly enjoys being frontline constable, serving the citizens of LaSalle. Lastly, and most importantly, Brad is grateful to the town of LaSalle for providing him with a rewarding and fulfilling career.
The members of the board, with respect to the Constable Thornton, when he joined the police service, April 4th, 2001, one of our officers that really took an interest in traffic enforcement and actually led our service in enforcement actions for several years. And Brad, to sum up his work ethic, he's a diligent and experienced frontline officer. Again, we're very glad to have him. And again, a few comments from the supervisor for the 2020 evaluation period indicate that he's punctual, ready to work. He's got an excellent attitude. He's compassionate. He goes the extra mile. He's committed to teamwork as well. And he's a valuable member. So again, we're glad to have Brad and glad to be celebrating today his 20 years. Brad, on behalf of the LaSalle Police Service, Brad, this is your 20-year medal. Congratulations, yeah. You're welcome. And this will be one of your on your uniform as well, right? And also your certificate. So you can display with that. Okay. You're welcome. Congratulations. Thanks. Appreciate it. Did you want to say anything, Brad? I can say a couple of things here. Over here. Yep. Okay. Yeah. First of all, I want to thank the police service board, the board members, and the town of LaSalle, Chief Davies, Deputy Chief Woods, and my family, obviously, for a great 20 years. I couldn't have done it without them, and look forward to several more to retirement in 7 years. So, anyways, it's been a great run. I really appreciate it, and thank you very much.
Well, thank you, Brad. It seems like yesterday you joined the force, but when I saw that two children, 18 and 16, I'm going, boy, he looks young to have kids that old. But thanks for being the major enforcer back when you were there. You must have trained the two new guys very well, because they seem to be taking on your experience in enforcement very well. So thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, Tanya.
Okay, so Mauro Tonin. Mauro was born and raised in Windsor, Ontario. His parents, Cassiano and Yvonne Tonin, along with his younger sister, Lisa Hearn, have been very supportive throughout his life. In 1997, he met his wife, Morella, and was married in 2000. They have two sons, Luca, 18, and Adriano, 15. Morella, Luca, and Adriano are a constant source of support and inspiration. Mauro graduated from Assumption High School in 1995. He then attended St. Clair College from September 1995 till April 1998, graduating with a diploma from the Law and Security program. Mauro enrolled at the University of Windsor Criminology program. During this time, he was hired with Revenue Canada, Customs and Excise Division. Mauro began his policing career, his dream job, with the Sandwich West Police Force on November 9th, 1990. In January 5th, 1993, Mauro was promoted to constable with the LaSalle Police Service. During this time, Mauro completed levels 1 and 2 from Dalhousie University and received certificates in police leadership and management. Mauro has been active in various programs within the service. 1997 to present, Mauro was appointed VIP officer for Prince Andrew. There he is known to all pupils and staff as Constable Mo. He says that being involved with the VIP program is still the most rewarding aspect of policing. Even today, he encounters some of the former students, now successful adults, and they still refer to him as Constable Mo. Mauro has served as the first full-time community liaison officer from 2004 to 2006. He is also a scenes of crime officer, senior child seat inspector, historical vehicle committee coordinator, traffic coordinator, crime prevention through environmental design officer, DNA samples officer, major case team member, domestic violence investigator, ride team member, co-chair of the LaSalle Police Youth Foundation annual charity golf tournament. In 2010, he was a member of the 2010 Winter Olympics security team, Whistler Theater. Mauro was an original member of the LaSalle Police Bike Unit. He is the past founding member of both the BRAD program, VIP program for grade 9s, and Safe Seat, Save Children program. Assisted with the Greater Essex County District School Board with Bully Prevention, a peer leadership strategy program. Mauro has been named CAA Traffic Safety Officer for the year 2001, and under Mauro's guidance, the School Safety Patrol program was awarded CAA Central Ontario School Safety Patrol Achievement Award 2003, beating out 40 other safety patrol programs. Mauro has received several supervisors' commendations as well as numerous letters from community groups thanking him for his work. He continues to volunteer his personal and professional time within the LaSalle community and city at various service events and as a chartered member of the LaSalle Kin Club. Mauro has been recognized for his contributions to the community by being one out of only 1,500 officers nationwide to receive the Queen Elizabeth II Diamond Jubilee Medal, recognizing officers who have made significant civic contributions to their communities. He has also received the Police Exemplary Service Medal for having over 20 years of loyal and exemplary service to law enforcement in Canada. 2019, Mauro was promoted to the rank of Sergeant.
Members of the board, Mo Tonin is one of the 2 remaining members that joined the Sandwich West Police Service and is still here. So that goes back pre-1991. So he's one of 2, the other one, Dave Pettipies. Mo joined in November 8th, 1990, sworn in as a constable on January 5th, 1993, and then sergeant on May 14th, 2019. He brings a wealth of experience and involvement in so many aspects of our policing operation. And for so many years, he was the face of our police service, and he still continues to represent us well in the community. 4 quick words that describe Mo and his evaluation from last year is a dedicated, reliable, dependable, and trustworthy. And I can vouch that he is all 4 of those. So I'd like to present him with this 30-year medal. So now, to the LaSalle Police Service, congratulations on 30 years of service to the citizens of LaSalle and citizens of with your uniform and also 30 years of service. So congratulations. Thank you. And if you want to have an opportunity to services, I'll make it quick.
First, I'd like to thank Jim Lepine. Staff Sergeant Shaw for allowing me to film on screen. Current and former police service board members, current and former town councilors for the continued support. Acting Chief Davies, Acting Chief Woods, past administrators, retired Deputy Chief Kevin Baldwin, who started me on this journey. Of course, to my fellow officers.
Well, can you speak louder?
To my fellow officers who make sure I get home to my family every night, I thank them. My father-in-law, Mary Kweti, my mother-in-law, Luciana Kweti, for the continued support in raising such a strong and supportive daughter. My sister Lisa, husband Donald, nieces Sarah, Jenna, nephews Donald, Connor, Hearn, and Andreas Mascario. My parent, Siani Vontanen, for showing and teaching me what is real sacrifice is with hard work, never to give up. He told me that when you look in the mirror, you're proud of the person you see. My two sons, Luke and Adriano, are a constant source of enjoyment and perspective. Their support helped me through difficult parts of the journey. My wife, Marola, you've always been there. Yes, I was raised to never give up, to work hard, and you will be rewarded someday. But seeing your courage, your positive outlook, your determination, going through chemo. In radiation, only increased my level of never giving up, work even harder, and always remain positive. There's no way I could accomplish my goals and be this sergeant or this many years on the police service without your continued support. In closing, someone once said, find something you love to do. You never have to work a day in your life. Well, I'm very fortunate to find that something, and that's the career here at LaSalle Police, who I've been actually kind of won the lottery because there's no other police service or community that I would serve. Thank you.
Well said, Mo. Wish we could be there in person and shake your hand and congratulate you in person. I know you live here and you're dedicated. When you're one of two that came in at Sandwich West Police, it says you've been here a while. And when you said you have to stay positive, I think you influenced a lot of positive influences on the kids at Prince Andrew. Your name is well known in the municipality. It won't be forgotten. You still have a few years to go. So you've led a good path. Continue to do that until retirement comes. And I'm sure you've got a good 10 years ahead of you. So don't even think about it. So we thank you. We can't do it formally, obviously, the way we're in COVID right now, but I want to tell you, as the chair, as the board, we thank you for your service and all the others who were celebrated this evening. So thank you, Mo.
Thank you.
And I know if Joe was here, he'd say thanks too.
Oh, perfect. Thank you.
That's emotional with those, the old timers, eh, Duncan?
Yes.
Nice to see. Okay, we have a presentation from LaSalle. Wait. Sorry, just a minute. Community group, fees associated with police clearances. We have Cindy Geets and I don't have anybody else's name here, sorry. So Cindy, do you want to start?
Sure. Thanks for receiving our delegation. My name's Cindy and I'm part of the Amherstburg Community Team, which is a collaborative of nonprofit and charitable organizations working together to provide services throughout Essex County. So thank you for receiving our delegation today and for your time in considering our request. We had submitted a report reviewing just the information with respect to service fees that are charged to volunteers requiring vulnerable sector clearances. So you should have copies of that report submission. And as well, we had 15 community organizations serving several municipalities throughout Essex County, including LaSalle, provide letters of support for this request, as well as our MPP for Essex, Taras Nadishak. So as part of our delegation today, we have representatives from Amherstburg Community Services, the House Youth Center, Safe Families, Windsor, Essex, and Lighthouse Baptist Church. These leaders wish to just briefly address the board to give you their perspective on the impact on their organizations regarding the fees associated with vulnerable sector clearances, especially in these difficult times of pandemic. Our goal is to continue to provide excellent services and do all we can to remove barriers in recruiting, training, releasing, and retaining highly effective and essential volunteers to serve in our communities. So we're going to begin tonight with Kathy DiBartolomeo. She's Executive Director of Amherstburg Community Services. Go ahead, Kathy. Okay, I'm not sure why Kathy's not able to get through. She's texted my phone that she's been having a few technical difficulties. So if you don't mind, I'm just going to read her submission for you. She's written that at Amherstburg Community Services, we have over 20 programs that provide support to those of all ages in the community. In order to provide those services, we require many volunteers. Our Meals on Wheels program delivers meals 5 days to residents in Amherstburg, LaSalle, and 3 days a week to residents in Harrow and McGregor. During this past year, we also acquired the Amherstburg Food Bank, and their volunteers sorted food from the Miracle 27th Windsor Essex County Food Drive. They have also put together over 700 food hampers for distribution to those in need in our community. And that brings her to the reason why she's here today to present. She's asking for the fees to be waived for volunteer police services clearances. As a not-for-profit agency, funding is always a concern. And using the limited resources towards programming is preferred as opposed to paying for multiple police clearances. As a not-for-profit in Amherstburg, recruiting volunteers has always had its challenges, such as a smaller volunteer pool to choose from due to a smaller population. Volunteers are getting older and facing their own health issues and must stop volunteering, and in some cases now become the clients of Amherstburg Community Services. Younger seniors are taking care of grandchildren and elderly parents, and the amount of time that they can volunteer becomes limited. And if the volunteer pays the fees, it may be a deterrent for them to volunteer. In the end, by eliminating the police clearance fees, that will break down some of those barriers and allow the not-for-profit agencies to put these precious dollars towards programming that benefit the residents of our communities. So once again, she wanted to thank you for listening and appreciates the opportunity to speak on behalf of Amherstburg Community Services. And now we're going to call upon Joanne Fear of Safe Families, Windsor, Essex, and she also represents Lighthouse Baptist Church in Amherstburg. Go ahead, Joanne.
Hello, my name is Joanne Fear, and I'm here representing Safe Families Windsor, Essex, and Lighthouse Church. Safe Families is a national multi-site volunteer movement that gives hope and support to families in distress by strengthening the community safety net for at-risk families. We reframe how families are supported during a crisis. We strive to step in before bad things happen to children by providing a safe volunteer home vetted much like the foster care system while parents deal with their crisis. These families not needing hostings are connected with mentors to provide support and help accessing the community resources needed. Safe Families Plus provides mentors to youth aging out of the foster care system to help youth learn life skills and find their role in the community. Our services are open to anyone in Essex County, and all services are offered on a no-cost basis. Safe Families, as noted, is totally volunteer driven. Lighthouse Church also relies heavily on volunteers. Volunteers are already sacrificing their time. Having to pay for a police clearance could be a deterrent to volunteering. And it can be confusing and even seem unfair that some receive their clearance from the OPP at no charge, where those in the remaining municipalities pay $25 to $35. As a group, we are asking the Police Services Board to consider waiving the fees for volunteers. This would provide equity for all within Essex County and provide agencies with volunteers that can serve without the additional cost. Thank you again for this opportunity, and I'll now pass it on to Blanche DeRoche from the House.
Hi there. My name is Blanche Durocher, and I am the chair for the board of directors at the House Youth Center. And we do have our AGM later today, so hopefully I'll still be the chair. We'll see. I wanted to thank you for allowing us to speak and allowing me to meet with you to talk to you a little bit about the House Youth Center. So the House operates in Amherstburg. Currently, we're virtual, related to the pandemic, of course. And we offer weekly programming to youth from grades 9 to 12 with many volunteer leaders. We do have a program director who is a registered social worker, and she provides oversight to drop-in rooms as well for any youth that requires some support. We also have an LGBTQ plus group for LGBTQ plus and their allies, which enable the youth to come together in a way that is really not seen anywhere else in the county. So we're really proud of those opportunities that we have for the youth. Our mission is always to enable the youth to become the leaders of tomorrow. And what we've seen is the youth that come through our program are more likely to be volunteers with us and other agencies in our communities throughout their adulthood. So I think we offer a really unique opportunity, and we do have volunteers and youth coming in from LaSalle and Amherstburg and Windsor and many areas surrounding Amherstburg. Pardon me, one of the challenges for the youth is that most of our leaders are just out of high school. They're in post-secondary. They probably still have student debt, and even a small fee like this can be a barrier to lead with us, because we do have to have all of our volunteers have a vulnerable sector check. And obviously very important to us to continue with that safely. We know that opportunities for youth employment have dwindled a little bit with the pandemic. We certainly hope that that changes. However, right now, being underemployed is certainly a factor for the youth. So I'm hoping that we plead with you and that you're able to do something for us so that we can not have our volunteers paying for that vulnerable sector check. It is something that comes out of pocket for each of them. So thank you very much for your time and attention.
So now we just wanted to open it up for questions. If you had any questions with regard to the report we submitted, any of the letters. I also sent along some insurance protocols that all of the organizations have to meet. And one thing that I think wasn't really mentioned too much is several volunteers volunteer in maybe 3, 4, 5 organizations, and they all require their own police clearance for those individuals that the insurance provider is requiring that it's specifically for that organization. So thank you again for your time, and just wondering if you had any questions.
Thank you, Cindy. Blanche. I did have everybody's name here, so thank you, Cindy, Kathy, Joanne, and Blanche. Blanche, did you grow up on Front Road?
Yes, I remember you very well. Absolutely. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. I married her cousin.
My cousin, yes.
So that's how many years ago since I've seen you, but thank you. Any questions from the board members? None. Cindy, the chief is aware of your request, and he will be coming back at another meeting with his report in relation to the fees. Duncan, any idea on the timing? Month, 2 months, 2 days?
Probably in September. The schedule of fees that we have in place for recovering fees for police clearances and other items is done through a town bylaw. And we currently have 3 bylaws in place that cover the schedule of fees for the town of LaSalle. So any changes to that schedule will have to be done through a bylaw. But I certainly will be providing a report back to the Police Services Board with respect to how we should proceed going forward.
Well, thank you again. We really do appreciate just giving us an ear, letting us tell you some of our challenges, because I know that we're all working together to keep the community safe and well serviced during the pandemic. So we'd also like to thank you for your leadership and appreciate all that you do for our communities as well.
Thank you, Cindy, and all the other speakers. Appreciate your concern. Have a great night.
Thank you, you as well.
Bye, everybody. Okay, LaSalle Police Service Draft 2020 Annual Report.
I could speak to it, Your Worship, if you'd like. If there was any concerns, certainly I haven't heard any feedback that there was any changes to be implemented, but if it's the board's pleasure for adoption, I will proceed with having it printed.
Any questions from board members?
Just a question. I browsed through it. I didn't read word for word. I take it, Duncan, we have somebody on staff that does a wordsmithing and or proofreading of everything to make sure grammar, spelling, punctuation is correct?
Yes. Yes, a couple set of eyes look it over. The executive assistant does look it over as well.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
I'm sorry, my mic was muted. Motion to receive. Mr. Allen, Ms. Houston, all in favor? That carries. Tanya, I believe I did not move the prior 2 items. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, so I apologize for that. We did the minutes, exemplary service mental presentation, just motion to receive. Mr. Allen and Mr. Comsa, all in favor, that carries. And the community group fees associated with police clearances, just motion to receive. Ms. Houston and Mr. Allen, all in favor, that carries. Thank you. Sorry about that. LaSalle Police Court Board 2021 correspondence summary of the emails received. Any questions? Motion to receive. Ms. Houston, Mr. Allen, all in favor? That carries. Thank you. Crime Stoppers Coordinator and Statistical Report, May 2021. Is there any comments, Duncan, or?
No comments on.
No comments. Motion to receive. Mr. Allen, Mr. Comsa, all in favor? That carries. LaSalle Police Service Statistics, May 2020 to May 2021. Highlights, anything you want to point out, Chief?
Yes, just with respect to the numbers, the numbers that are highlighted with an asterisk are some variables that we don't know as far as comparators go. Again, with the move to our new Versiterm system and comparing it to our Interpol software that we've been using for the last 20 some years, there's going to be some changes to it as far as what it's going to look like. So we're comparing apples and apples, but we just need to get the numbers out so that we can give you a proper number coming back. So when we're comparing say the month of May of last year to the month of May of this year, it's taking on a different form because of the new switchover that took place on May the 18th. So going forward, it's going to have a slight variation as to what it's going to look like. Jason and I have been at least monitoring what's been going on with our calls for service, and there's no anomalies there that we've noted where things have skyrocketed or there's been any problems that way. So again, just looking at those numbers, I apologize for not being very clear. But again, I have to have some data put into the new system to be able to extract it so I can compare it to the old. So there's a few growing pains, but we're going to work through it over the next few months.
Questions? None. Motion to receive. Ms. Houston and Mr. Holmsa, all in favor? That carries. Thank you. LaSalle Police Service financial statements, May 2021. Highlights, questions? Motion to receive. Mr. Allen, Mr. Komsa, all in favor? That carries. LaSalle Police Services Board financial statements and general ledger details for May 2021. Not much there. Nothing to add. Motion to receive. Ms. Houston and Mr. Allen, all in favor? That carries. Well, the next meeting is scheduled for September 2021 or at the College Chair. If anything comes up prior to that.
Mr. Bondi, I just to let you know, I will not be at the September 20th meeting. I'll be out of the country, so have a good meeting. Well,
I might not be here either because I'll be carrying your luggage. Well, good night, everyone. Meeting adjourned. Stay safe.
Thank you very much, guys.
Take care.